Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new edition of Eclectic Everything Sci-Fi, Fantasy, Cosplay, Gaming. That's what we're about. I am Seven, and we have Charles, and we have Drew, and we have a special guest, Maia Crown Williams.
Yes,
Peace.
yes. Thank you for joining us tonight. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, first things first, introduce yourself for us. Who are you? What are you about?
Okay, my name is Maia Crown Williams. People call me Crown. I'm founder of MECCA, Midwest Ethnic Convention for Comics and Arts. I'm co-founder of BSAM, Black Speculative Arts Movement. MECCA is every September in Detroit, and it is a multicultural convention, mostly Black. If we're gonna be real, I could call it Black Comic Con, but I'm trying to be friendly and say it's multicultural. And then BSAM is focused on Afrofuturism in Black comics, and it's all across the United States in major universities and colleges.
Nice. Okay, so just really quick for those who aren't, I guess, familiar with the term Afrofuturism, could you explain to us what that is, just in a nutshell?
Afrofuturism is speculative art, speculative thought, futuristic thinking that revolves around our culture. So be it literature, be it social politics, be it art, music, all of that. It's all together as a genre.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So let's see, Seven, you got any opening questions for our guest tonight? I'm sure you guys had some time to talk before the show, but...
Yeah, well, first thing is, what inspired you to create, not only be the founder, let's just get this out there, you're the founder of MECCA, and you're the
Yes.
co-founder of BSAM. Why?
Right.
There's a lot of energy, a lot of time that goes into this.
Okay, well, with BSAM being the co-founder, with Dr. Reynaldo Anderson. He's the author of Afrofuturism 1.0, Afrofuturism 2.0, and he's also an associate professor, the head associate professor at Harrisville State University. So he asked me to join the movement because he wanted the movement, which was actually founded by himself and John Jennings, who is also a demigod of all things Black Comic Cons, and they started the movement. So Reynaldo wanted to actually start the convention so we can get this message out to the youth, the students, as well as the elders who missed out on it back in the day. And then with MECCA, well, MECCA is a longer story. MECCA, I've been doing Comic Con since maybe 2009, 2010. I was working with a certain somebody else, and I decided to branch off. And I decided he doesn't get airplay. I decided to branch off and do what I learned through him and make it better. The introduction that he gave me into this community, which I will always appreciate him for regardless. I decided that, what we were doing, I felt like if I worked by myself, it'd be a lot better. So it's grown so much in the past 3 years of doing MECCA, and I'm just really proud of it. Okay. And it centers on comics. It centers on comics, centers on arts, centers on film, because it's also a registered International Black Film Festival along with it.
So everything that I'm basically into, just wrapped up in one neat package. It's excellent. Good to know. So where can we find more? Like when it comes to you, your movement, the Afrofuturism, what are like some good outlets for that?
Well, I do have a website. I actually have about 6 websites because I own multiple businesses. But if you go on any of them, you'll find all of them. So if you go on meccacon.wordpress.com, you'll find it. But it's also blackspeculative.artsmovement.wordpress.com. But if you find me on Facebook, you'll find me everything. I believe in free, so I'm on everything that has a login that doesn't charge me. So I believe in hustling because I'm from Detroit area, so that's what we do.
Detroit,
we use social media. We use social media to our advantage as much as possible because, it's free.
As you should. Yeah, that's totally what it's there for, what it should be used for, in my opinion.
Yeah, Facebook was my website before I had websites. So.
Oh, yeah, and we were talking about this before the show. It's like when it comes to putting yourself out there, when it comes to making a statement, expressing something, when it comes to the culture. Like, Twitter, it's okay. IG, it's all right. But when you're going to write, like how you said, excellently, I'm trying to write an essay about how awesome I am. I need to be on Facebook because there's no barrier, there's no limit to what I can write. I'm the exact same way. I'll make my little smart ass post, but like when it comes to me just going off, I'm like, I need as much space as humanly possible for that.
I need spaces in between paragraphs. I need.
Oh yes, I need my spaces.
I need a song. I need a YouTube to show the song to my feelings. Like I need all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
That.
So now we're there.
Now it's interesting. You do. We're gonna put up some pictures of panels that you've done, but I also see that you try to get the kids involved as much as possible. It's a lot of face painting, and is this one of the things that make MECCA different from other conventions?
It is. I mean, there's other ones. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it isn't MECCA isn't a monopoly. MECCA definitely wasn't the first Black Comic Con. That goes all the way to Chicago to Tertel Only, who started the Black Age. But MECCA is different because I'm solo dolo. I don't have a team. I don't have business partners. I don't have an association. I don't have any of that. I just have me, myself, and I. You know, that's it. Like, my volunteers are my son and his friends, who I have to like bribe with Detroit versus Everybody t-shirts for them to volunteer. Like, it's literally like super close. You know what I mean? So everything that's with MECCA, everything is something that I myself did. I did by myself, you know, so.
Before we change gears, I would like to ask, because there's so many people now getting into comic books that weren't, as far as number-wise, that weren't into it before. In fact, Charles, we just did a panel for Fort Hamilton's first comic book convention, and we spoke about the rise of comic books in the 80s and how it dipped in the 90s. Now, all of a sudden, you know, freaks, became geeks, and then they became, you know,
it's cool now.
Pop culture kings, basically.
Now, yeah.
Right. So, with the rise of the conventions, do you think it's too much now? Too many conventions popping up? Or no, this is great for the arts?
No, I don't ever think it's too many conventions. Excuse me. We have 2 in Detroit, and I don't worry about that because I know for a fact I'm doing better than what's going on over there. So it doesn't intimidate me. You know, I never think it's too many events, because if you can't go to mine because you at work or something, well, you know, you might have to go to the other one. You won't have as much of a good time, but you know, you can still go to the other one.
Nice. No, I agree with that totally, man. Charles, me and you and
the word needs to be spread. It's a movement. It's a movement. It's so many people out here. It's so many people that have no idea, literally have no idea that there is such thing as comics with Black people, owned by Black people, published by Black people. Like, they have no idea whatsoever. I've had elders crying at my events because they never saw anything like that. I have kids running around losing their minds because they've never seen anything like this.
Oh yeah.
You know, so you know, it's never too many. It's never too many. It's never too many.
I love going to
cons. We still grow.
Yeah, talking to people like some of the smaller cons, like people that actually know what Milestone Comics was and know characters like Icon or Static before he became Static Shock. Yeah, it's fun. And in that regard, we've talked about that on the show before too. The smaller cons are where you go when you try to make genuine connections with the fans. Exactly. Comic-Con can be fun. Like, I love Anime Expo. It's tradition at this point. I go with all my friends and family. But like we've said time and again, it's regimented and it's very much, comic books are chic now. So when you go to like New York Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, it's like you're going to see most of the mainstream. It's like it's in now. So the in stuff is cool. Social acceptance is fine. But I want to go where like my people are, like where the root of it is, so I can get in like deep conversations and all that good stuff.
The issue that I have with some of these bigger cons, they didn't start out that way, and I think some of the bigger cons start exploiting people. Man, that's the issue that I have when you have a family and you can't even afford to get into a con. To me, that's a problem, and that's the issue that I have with some of these bigger cons. Man, it's just the pricing of some of the stuff. Yeah, and I feel that the smaller cons are more intimate. The people are more genuine. You know what I mean? You get more bang for your buck. I'm just being completely honest, man. They're not fair.
You're all about saving those dollars, Charles. You are a frugal one out of the group.
No, dude, no.
I'm laughing at an inbox. Somebody
Trust
just
me,
unboxing
I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars doing cons,
right?
and it gets to a point where you're like, look, man, you know, when the bubble's going to burst eventually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't make any sense that you got to mortgage your house to go to a darn Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but it's hard for me to get $6 out of people. So you'd be surprised. A lot of people feel like and even my white friends say this, like, it's such thing as white validation out here. You know, I literally have friends. I'm not gonna put her name out there because I don't want to get in trouble.
No,
but I have friends. I mean, people know who I'm talking about. But I have friends who not only are comic creators, but they're also journalists, and they will tell me, like, Crown, well, you know, I'm white. I know I can help you because they'll take this proposal before they take it from you. So here, let me help you, sis. I got you.
Wow.
White as ever. Real about it.
Hey,
you know?
Nice. So changing gears, moving on to other things. There was quite a few bits of news actually this week, man. I even don't know where to begin. Let me just start at the start. Star Wars. We got a second trailer for Rogue One. Everybody chime in when you can. If you have seen it, by show of hands, who's seen it? Anyone? Wow. All right, Charles, you're on point. The other two.
No, I saw it.
Oh, you saw it? Okay, so you're in there too.
Sorry.
You know these things, Seven. You're in cyberspace, so I can't see every movie.
Okay, yeah.
But no, I gotta say, visually it was great. I like that they sat up there and actually gave you more insight as to the main character chick, who I'm still not completely purchased on. I know why she's there now. Because her dad, as you come to find out, her dad, was played by Mads Mikkelsen, he is taken hostage, and he's the one actually forced to design and create the Death Star. Yeah. So it makes perfect sense now, because I'm just like, why do we want this chick besides her having moxie or whatever it is, for the reason that she's there? So that was great to see. The visuals, I feel, are probably some of the best that I've seen from Star Wars just yet, period. Really great visual. It has that, like, dingy, hopeless feel to it. The tech is just all, like, bummy. Everybody looks all sad, except for the Empire, because they're styling right now. They're basically stunting on everybody right now. But probably my favorite part of the trailer, and guys, please chime in on this. I need other people's voices on this one. How hyped were you when you saw just the back of Darth Vader's head when he walked into the room to talk to Director Critic, right? And he just looks like, dude, James Earl Jones is about to choke the hell out of somebody.
Right.
What happened?
Right.
What is going on? So seeing Darth Vader, knowing that he's going to be in the film, I'm ticket sold. I'm good.
Yeah, it's no longer a rumor. Yeah, so you're like, yes, I'm going to get a little. And he's still alive, which is awesome.
Yeah, because this happens, it predates the events of...
No, I mean, in real life, for James Earl Jones to do the voice.
Yeah, and we need to preserve his voice. There needs to be some sort of tech that's invented where you can take people like Morgan Freeman, okay? James Earl Jones, all right, Samuel Jackson. We need to preserve these guys' voices so when they're no longer here, we still have that amount of gravitas with the voice. So...
I mean, I was hyped off the previews when I saw my boy Donnie Yen. I'm a big Donnie Yen fan, so when I saw him, I was like, yeah, I was sold. So I was happy. And he's blind in that movie, too.
And some Zatoichi stuff, beating people with a stick like they stole something. Yep. Absolutely. I love it.
I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Oh, before we move on, interesting fan theory I heard. So bear with me on this one. So you guys know that this one takes place right before, like, A New Hope, right? This is how they, of course, find the weakness to the Death Star, the little 2-meter hole that they're able to shoot in. Funny fan theory that I heard. If you look at the main character chick, the suit that she's wearing, the all-black outfit, someone formulated the idea that she is one of the pilots that's actually with Darth Vader during that last pass. Now, you notice in the film, in, like, A New Hope, there's Vader and 2 other guys, his sentries, right?
Correct. Right.
When Han comes in, shoots the one guy, you see the other ship kind of like veer off course and slams into Darth Vader and shoots him off into space, and that's the last we see him until the other movies, right?
Right.
Some people are speculating that that's her.
Oh.
If we came to find out in the movie, I think that would be an excellent little, like, twist to the Star Wars lore. I think that'd be freaking awesome.
That would be interesting.
So keep an eye on that one. If that ends up going down, you can thank your boy. Thank you for bringing it to you guys first. At Sonic at SCP, Sonic Eclecticka. There we go.
So, Crown, I got to ask you this, because we on a panel we're talking about diversity and talking about females being represented. And through that conversation, I brought up, what was it, the manga, Sailor Moon, and how that's a very old. I saw your face, you cringed. But I mean,
it's to anime. I'm sorry.
Oh,
really?
I've pissed people off talking about anime, so I'm like learning to watch my mouth. But I don't.
No, it's okay.
About anime at all.
But just in general, just how they're the most popular manga, and you have these young women that are always saving the day, and they don't ever talk about that. How it's so successful. And so I just say, how do you feel about? There's a lot of properties that exist that just don't get that shine.
Now it seems like our vaginas are being pimped out because now they're like making male characters female characters because they think that's what diversity is. No, diversity is creating a whole new character instead of just plopping a vagina on one.
Like Iron Man becoming Iron Heart.
Well, we're not even going to talk about that one because
she just
Riri name. I don't even have time for it. So we don't do Riri. We don't do Riri. We don't. What? Riri?
You saw the hand gesture, guys? That's what it's just done with the topic when you get the Jedi. The Jedi. No.
That was stated on the panel. It's like
and then neither the artist nor the writer is black.
Wait, Drew, here you go.
Person
These are not the remakes you're looking for.
Not the remakes you're looking for. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, if you're going to so-called tell my story, get somebody that knows my story to tell it. Otherwise, I'm not even giving that airplay. So we're not even going to talk about Riri.
Right, so Ironheart's a miss. However, though, what's your stance on the new Wonder Woman movie that's coming out? Because she's goes down as like a comic feminist icon staple when it comes to the culture. Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's good. I think it's good that it's coming out because that's such a prominent character in the history of comics, male or female. I mean, it's Wonder Woman. So that's how I look at it. I don't look at it like, oh, it's a dope female superhero coming out. I look at it like, yo, that's another hard hitter coming out. That's Wonder Woman. That's ISIS. You know, that's specific. So,
my only added to that is this week we actually got a bit of news from I guess the people that are creating the film. Said something that I'm not angry about, but I'm kind of like on. It's the tone of the Wonder Woman movie, and this was by let's see, sorry, it was Variety magazine.
Is it going to be all super gloomy?
It was not. It was like Deborah Snyder. She goes on and she says that Wonder Woman is like a very different tone and style from Batman versus Superman and Suicide Squad. The key word that she used was lighter, a lighter tone, because it's like, it's not that she's wrong about that, because the DC films thus far have been entirely too grim. I always say no one outside of Batman should be brooding at midnight on top of a tower.
Yeah, but Superman is not a super sad, dark.
What does he have to be sad about?
And it's always dark. The Superman movies have been too dark.
And I mean, it's based on Haru, so why would they have so much dark? I'm gonna stop being all blackety black.
No. I'm
bringing it in. I'm just saying, like, it was just.
By the way, Miss Crown, this is
he
for
brought
you.
the staff out, y'all. He brought the staff out. So I'm just saying, like, I don't want some super sad, dark, gloomy stuff. I mean, Man of Steel wasn't as dark. I mean, I'm one of the 5 people in the world that actually loved the doggone movie. I went and saw it 4 times. I know I'm alone, but I loved Man
of Steel. I thought Man of Steel was a fun
Batman versus Superman. I'm like, I fell asleep the first time, and then I took my son to see it, and I think he fell asleep or was falling asleep. So then I watched it at home online, and it was just like really bad. And I'm like, okay, well, I see why I fell asleep on this. It's very dumb. It's a very bad movie.
I did not like it at all. It was
too dark, too gloomy, too depressing. And I don't want Superman acting like that. That's not Superman.
Yeah, and the funny thing about it is this. Yeah, it's complicated to me because Deborah Snyder is right, and that the tone of the films don't need to be all dark, because that's not what DC Comics is. However, if you're going to take Wonder Woman, put her in World War I, because that was such a happy and bright, fanciful time where people were like, having the best times of their lives. I'm like, you can't sit there and say the tone's supposed to be lighter for a character that was kind of in the middle. Superman, bright, happy, shiny optimism. Batman, humanity sucks. Wonder Woman, somewhere in the middle. So to sit up there and take it that route, that's like the same thing that they did with Arrow. They took a character that was like initially like the Robin Hood of the DC canon, like the DC universe, and they made him Batman. Like on the new show. And I love the show, don't get me wrong. The new season started. I checked it out. It's back to its basics, I feel, overall. But it's still very grim. You can see where they tried to transplant elements of Batman into Arrow. And I'm like, it doesn't always work that way, guys.
No.
They're working in extremes. Like, find some place in the middle. You can make it work. But Wonder Woman, a light and happy Wonder Woman, and a sad, brewy, whiny Superman. I'm like, fix it. Adjust. So,
well, what about Flash? You think they have a healthy balance in that?
Flash is one of those outlying reasons where it was perfect. It's like it's just the right pitch. They talk entirely too much about their freaking relationships, as you've heard.
They try to make a love story out of that crap.
All right, everything has to be some lame romance story, which I'm fine with it. I mean, Crown, I'm actually curious to see if you watch The Flash, what your stance on that whole thing is, because Iris West, she's a sister, gorgeous sister, and she's with Barry, and they had that whole lame back and forth where, like how you fell asleep on Batman vs. Superman, I sleep whenever they start talking about their feelings and the will they, won't they crap, or will they make out,
well,
will they
not? Do all the feeling stuff because it's an insult to women. They think that that's how you're going to get a female demographic as viewers. If you kiss, have sex, I don't know, he hurt my feelings, I don't know how I can go on, I don't know who to choose between him or him. Like, they think that's what chicks want to watch. It's an insult. It's an insult to women. It's an insult to female geeks. It's an insult to us because I don't have time for all that kissy stuff. Like, I want to see fighting, I want to see zapping, I want to see somebody.
I need Flash. I need me.
Say that, bro. How many times did you say that on the show? You and I.
She needs to be on
the first season of The Flash was killing me with all that. It was killing me slowly with all of that. I'm like, bruh, I don't want to watch all this. I mean, Luke Cage is different, but I mean, that's Luke Cage. Luke Cage, you know, he had the ladies all the time. I expect that in Luke Cage, but Flash, nah. Well, what is all of this drama with all? Like, am I watching Scandal? Am I watching Grey's Anatomy, or am I watching Flash?
Flash, yeah. Where's the time travel? Where's the death? Where's the destruction? Where's the resurrection? Yeah,
it was more lovey-dovey. It was more lovey-dovey. Go back in time, go to the different Earth, and meet Iris again, and you know, who does she love more, her fiance or Flash? And like, nobody got time for that.
Oh my! Thank you so much. I feel alone. Yeah. You made me feel significantly less alone. I'm on the show every day, and I'm the villain. I'm the heel.
No, you're not the villain.
I agree with you on that.
We agree with you.
All the effing movies try to make a love story. They try to force it in there. I don't want to see all that crap, man.
Because I'm telling you, that's what they think is going to get female viewership, and it's insulting. I mean, we read comic books for a reason. We watch action shows for a reason. I'm not trying to watch Flash because I don't even watch Arrow, so I can't even lie and say like I'm not, because I don't know nothing about, I don't watch Arrow. But Flash, I watch Flash, and all the girly, depressing, life can't go on, I don't know who to choose, I don't know if I like Barry. Okay, well, I like Barry. Okay, Barry got another chick, now I got an attitude. Okay, well, now he ain't got another chick and I'm available now, I don't want him no more. Like, I ain't got time for that.
You just ranted the whole season, by the way.
Thank you. Oh, that was honestly,
I honestly have not even started watching this season. It's gotten better. It's still there. So. It's still annoying, but it's good. It's where it's gone. It's good.
You know what? For the new season, I do have a problem, at least with the last episode this week. It seemed like a big reel just to show that everyone could act. Okay, now we're gonna everyone has to cry and overly get emotional, and I hope they kind of leave that for like the rest of the. And I understand they had to pivot a little.
Space it out, man. Yeah.
Yeah, they got to space it out. Otherwise, it's going to be too much.
If you have too many like emotional performances back to back to back,
right?
You're just like, this show's trying.
Episodes dedicated to that emotional stuff. Like, I didn't watch this for that. I wasn't here for that.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't really here for that. I didn't check into that for a lot of emotions, and you know. I'm just being honest. Like, I came to see The Flash, came to see Wally West. You know, That's what I was here for. I wasn't here for all this other stuff.
Yeah. So, shifting gears, one thing that I hope that they don't do is add that lame bromance element that we're talking about now to Old Man Logan, the movie that's coming out. This is the
If
third.
y'all don't start talking about some black comics,
We're getting there. Don't worry. I wanted to bring up this last little thing. We got like some stills of Old Man Logan, and it's kind of curious because it has like this really grimy, like black and white dystopian feel to it. And I don't know if you have like the stills of 7.
Mm-hmm.
Now apparently this is going to be rated R.
Well, every Wolverine movie should always been rated R.
They always should have been.
They should have been rated R.
So, what they'll give us, I'm hoping it's like a Mad Max with like the Marvel undertones with it, because they don't have access to half the characters that were involved in that plot line.
Right.
So, whatever they do add, I hope that it's fresh. I hope that they're heavy on the dystopian thing, and the twist that comes in Old Man Logan. I don't know if you guys have read that one. The twist that comes in, freaking brilliant. If they don't leave that in, I think they're like really chumping themselves and the fans off when it comes to that one.
Now, this is the last time Hugh Jackman's going to play Wolverine.
Apparently, we'll see. I don't know. Like, they always say that, and then it's like, oh man, we got 3 more scheduled. So, who knows? Mm-hmm. But at any rate, Black Comic News, what do you guys have for us? Do you have anything else going on? What do we got? We have a guest here that's expecting things of us.
I do want to say this, though, about Luke Cage.
Okay.
Impressed. Only thing I think Luke Cage needs to work on some of the fight scenes. I think the fight scenes are dry.
Yeah.
I think they're dry compared to some of the other shows. But as far as like the characters, I think the characters ran deep, man. You know what I mean?
That's part of the show.
Yeah, it wasn't like.
Well, as far as the fight, but it's
say it again.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead,
as far as the fight scenes, I mean, we're not watching Daredevil. Like that's the problem. Like we saw Daredevil for 2 seasons before Luke Cage came out, and then we saw Jessica Jones, which to me was a snore fest. It took me forever to get through the series. I forced myself to because I felt obligated because Luke Cage was coming, so I had to watch the drama and dramatics and lovey-dovey and emotional Jessica Jones. But you know, a lot of people, because we saw Daredevil, and Daredevil was just like stupid violent fight scenes, crazy. And then we see Luke Cage, which is based on blaxploitation, and we just expect the fight scenes to be way more. I thought that they were fine for what it was, because this is Luke Cage. Luke Cage is based in the 70s.
Here's my counter to that, though. There were perfect opportunities to get an excellent fight scene for what they had in Luke Cage.
True.
My core example of that, when Luke Cage walks into that theater and Diamondback is there and he has the gun.
That was the main fight scene of the whole series.
I'm like,
yeah,
dude,
I feel you.
This is perfect. Because now Luke Cage has to fight smart. He can't just walk up and smack a dude in the face and knock him out. This guy can put him down. So you need to take the chairs off the hinges, start throwing them at him, ducking behind stuff, being smart. And then he knocks the pillar down, and Diamondback tries to like drop kick him. And I'm like, no, dude.
Yeah,
you missed a perfect opportunity.
I mean, I agree, but just like my sis said, because everybody is inboxing me and texting me right now, because I guess they're watching.
Okay.
The fight choreographer actually did a huge interview about it, and like they specifically were like on purpose keeping this stuff lightweight because A, is season 1.
Okay.
B, it's freaking Luke Cage. It's based on blaxploitation. It's not going to be a whole bunch of gory stuff. It's not going to be a whole bunch of hooks in the side of a back and then rip the hook out. This is not Daredevil.
It doesn't need to be, though.
This is Power Man.
Take Creed, for example. Creed as a boxing film, right? Choreographed brilliantly. You can have really well-made, basic, grimy street fights that don't require excess amounts of blood, that don't require explosions. They could have done so much stuff. If I can sit down and craft...
But you're talking about Creed, that's a boxing film.
Boxing, yes, but when it comes to it, boxing versus the fanciful kung fu and stuff that we saw in Daredevil, very different thing. Luke Cage is a boxer, first and foremost. You see that in the show itself. Up that ante in the show where you see him actually grappling and boxing Diamondback, not just throwing little.
Yeah, that they need.
I'm like,
to expand on that more.
Could have been done better.
Well,
I think you.
Great show though.
Definitely smooth it out with that.
I think if people studied the history and the making of blaxploitation films, they will understand the Luke Cage series on network a lot better, because it's a whole nother demographics, and that show is literally supposed to be exactly like blaxploitation,
and it carried
blaxploitation.
And it was a good thing they didn't go
scenes.
well with. I'm glad there wasn't a whole bunch of martial arts in it. I think a lot of people that are saying that critique is because they expected, like you said, Daredevil, they expect to see martial arts. I think
it's like for Iron Fist to come
on.
That's what
a street fight and a martial arts are two different things.
Right.
They're entirely two different things. And you don't need to have martial arts, everyone throwing kicks and ridge hands and roundhouses and all that. You don't need everyone doing that. That's not his style anyway.
So
his style.
Yeah, kind of randomly jumping ship. I actually wanted to ask all of you guys collectively, but we do have a special guest, so this is more or less oriented to her.
Yeah, because I want to talk about MECCA and B-Sam, y'all.
Oh, well, yeah, we can jump that too. I did want to ask, though, quickly before we jump back into MECCA, one character, or a couple characters, whatever, that you want to see not just adapted into a film or television series or whatever, but adapted well by a predominantly Black director, creator, staff. What one character, your crowning jewel that you would want to see brought to life in that format? Who would it be?
I would want to see Misty Knight done correctly.
Okay, there you go.
Shout out to Detroit. Simone. She from here and all of that. But I want to see her done correctly. I want to see a film based on Misty Knight, not just a series. And I want it to be with somebody who portrays Misty Knight better, because Simone is a very powerful actress, but she's not my Misty Knight. And I have one of her main films. I have one of her films inside my film festival, which is why I try not to speak on it too much, because one of my main films she's the star of, and it's actually an outstanding film. I'll tell y'all that in a second, but she's not a Misty of mine. She's not my Misty.
Who would you cast? If you had a perfect opportunity to cast someone for Misty Knight, who would it be?
I would have to think about it, because, honey, that's Misty Knight. That's serious business. That's Misty Knight. It would take me a second. I just know it's not Simone. I just know it's not her. Shout out to Detroit, though, but it's not.
I thought she was perfect.
A lot of people think she's outstanding. A lot of y'all think she's fine. And a lot of people like what she looked like without a shirt on. So, that ties in the factor, but I don't think she was right for that role at all. And I also don't like that the afro didn't come out until the last episode. I'm not into the gentrified braid out. No offense to gentrification, but that's a gentrified ass braid out, and I wasn't with that. I had to wait to the end of the season to get my afro.
Miss Crown, you've added a lot of insight, and we would definitely like to have you again, if you don't mind coming through.
Please come back. I need that.
Indeed.
Come on back.
I'm alone out here. I need you. Please.
Indeed, I appreciate it.
Thank you. So I know we're wrapping it up, but anything else? What can we look forward to at MECCA this year?
MECCA just passed. MECCA was September 15th, 16th, and 17th. The 15th and 16th, we have book signings at a Black-owned bookstore. Then we have book signings at the brand new comic shop downtown. And then the 17th was our Comic-Con and International Black Film Festival. We had 22 films. We had 50 vendors. We had 17 workshops and classes, seminars, 3 huge panels. It was really, really wonderful turnout, wonderful event. Next up this coming weekend is BSAM Toronto, and that will be at OCAD University. It is October 21st and 22nd at OCAD University. Excellent. Then we have BSAM Philly at Temple University, and that is November 12th. On the 11th, we'll have book signings at Amalgam Comics, and then that same night, we'll have a huge after party at Amalgam Comics, and it'll be thrown by Black Tribbles. And then the 12th, which is Saturday, that's the actual convention day, and that's at Temple University. And then following the convention, we'll have a huge Afrofuturist affair ball. And it's their 6th one. It's their 6th year. It's a really huge event. Great. And then February, we have BSAM Texas. Oh yeah, we got a lot. We
We're
have the
ready.
list.
Busy, man. We're busy.
Yeah, February is in Texas at Prairie View A&M University. That's a HBCU, very known HBCU. Shout out to the Panthers. April is at Harris Stowe State University. That's in St. Louis. And then that's also a HBCU. May, of course, once like I told you before, it's at Cal State U, and that is in May. And then we have
Okay.
other ones coming up too. The one in New York, one in DC,
New York.
few other ones.
So basically, you don't really have anything going on at all.
You're.
That's what you're.
So you have
You're not
nothing
doing
going
a
on at this
thing.
moment, is what you're telling
I'm
me.
tired.
Excellent. So in the interim, just really quickly, what can the average Joes in the culture in the community, what can we do to, I guess, further knowledge about it, like get people out there aware of us? What can we do to bolster you guys' voice right now?
One thing you all could do is keep giving us interviews, keep giving us features on your sites. That is so important. Sometimes, am I gonna go there? Yeah, I'll go there. Sometimes bloggers, journalists, they put their emotions in front of the movement. If you don't like somebody personally, if you're not cool with somebody personally, they choose not to cover you instead of thinking of it as the bigger picture. And I'm not saying that just because you Black, you're obligated to cover everything Black, but I'm saying you should want to. You should want to try to further push out stuff that you know people in your own community are doing, because it's important. You know, we have to look out for each other and we have to support each other. We have to put all personal issues aside, all cyber drama, all unnecessary nonsense. Like journalists, they make or break us. They make or break us. The bloggers make or break us. So we need more support like that than we need donations. Donations are important too, but media, that's the most important. So, you know, you all actually coming out to events that's centered on Black comics. Like there's bloggers and journalists. They'll come out 15, 20 deep to New York Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, squad up, fly from here to there. But a Black Comic Con in their own city, they're nowhere to be found.
Right.
Or they'll just come, but they won't cover the event, which is actually even worse because y'all coming and y'all didn't cover. So we need the media to help push us forward the most.
Okay, so we got to fix that then. So I think that is going to be that for the evening. Crown, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This was like 80 breaths of fresh air to have someone who's just outspoken and as just opinionated as you. It's great. We love it.
Just
We
be
need more
being
of it.
friendly.
Please, yeah, join us again. Seven, you wanna tune us out today? Or see us out for
Miss
today?
Crown, thank you so much for coming. And again, this is for you. This is for
I
you.
appreciate that.
That's what's up.
That for real.
Thank
That's
you
what's
so
up.
much for coming through. Charles,
Thank you.
always.
Always a pleasure. Crown, you got to get us to one of your shows.
Indeed.
And Drew,
Indeed.
give us that salute. All
As
right.
always.
I'm Seven. You're watching Eclecticka. Please join us next week live, 8:30 Eastern Time. SCVnetwork.com. Just hit the live tab. Thank you very much.
Peace.
Have a good night.